The time has come for the Thursday, December 26, 2019 special city council meeting. Roll call, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Present.
Alderman Florian.
Present.
Alderman Taylor.
Present.
Alderman Bolton.
Present.
Alderman Seeger.
Present.
Alderman Moisio.
Here.
Alderman Kirkwood. Alderman Newsom.
Present.
Alderman Turner.
Present.
Mayor Cunningham.
Present. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mayor's comments, pretty brief. Just as all you know, today is the first observance of Kwanzaa. Thank you for being here today. I would like to wish all of you belated Christmas and happy Hanukkah. Those are all the mayor's comments. Number 2, resolutions, proclamations, presentations, and appointments. There are none. Audience time. Madam Clerk.
Margaret Carrasco.
FYI, on December 23rd, I filed a complaint with the Illinois Attorney General for the Open Meetings Act violations that I'm alleging occurred on December 16th against you, and you. City of Waukegan Legal Counsel, Bob Long, Cunningham, Turner, and Kilkelly. I listed a link at the video footage as evidence, and it goes into on December 16th at the last City Council meeting, in which I was bringing to your attention what I believe that you did not have the 5 required votes to pass the tax levy. During audience time, I was treated disrespectfully, unprofessional, rude, harassed, discriminated, demeaned, illegally interrupted by Turner several times, even after I requested for them to stop the clock. He continued to interrupt me. Never did Kilkelly stop the clock.
That's Alderman Turner. Thank you.
Excuse me, do not interrupt me. Never at any time did legal counsel state anything to stop Turner from his ludicrous I don't even know the word, repugnant demand that I look at him or look at them, yuck, when I speak. Long allowed the Mayor Cunningham to allow this, never interrupted, never stopped it. Attorney Durando at the other meeting also. Latina females have been disrespected and harassed by Turner, including Diana Burnett, who also spoke that day. Is this a plan between Cunningham and Turner? Is it a plan that tried to shut me down because I'm complaining about property taxes being increased? Latina women and white women aldermen of Waukegan are sick and tired of being disrespected here under Sam Cunningham as mayor. When is it going to stop, Bob Long? You're the attorney. Our taxpayers are paying for your salary. You're supposed to have order in this meeting, and all people should be respected. City Hall whispering is that the mayor constantly yells out of control and many times screaming F you when speaking to city employees and or Waukegan taxpayers. Is this the working kind of environment here at City Hall? It's shameful and it must stop. Thank you.
Motion to seat Alderman Kirkwood. Motion by Alderman Bolton, second by Alderman Turner. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed and carried. Are there any more?
No, that's it,
it?
sir.
Item 4, there being none. Item 5, there being none. Item 6, there being none. Item 7, let's get a motion on the floor. Motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman Moisio, to ratify ordinance 19-0-114, ordinance levying and assessing tax of the city of Waukegan, Lake County, Illinois, for the 2019 tax levy year. I will then turn this over to Corporation Counsel to explain exactly what we're doing. Thank you. Corporate Counsel.
The only thing that's before the special meeting in the City Council this afternoon is the ratification of the prior ordinance, simply to provide additional evidence and documentation that that ordinance was indeed duly and properly passed when it was initially presented on December 2nd. And there was an opportunity for the City Council to reconsider it on the 16th, which was not taken up. So as such, the ordinance is in proper form, has been duly executed, signed, approved, published, and filed with the Lake County Clerk. So today's action is simply to ratify the fact that the action was taken properly. It is not necessarily a vote on the substance of the ordinance, of the underlying ordinance itself.
Are there any questions? We got Alderman Taylor and Alderman Florian. Alderman Taylor.
So I guess I'm going to start by saying one of the things that I'm not clear about is, did we need a majority vote of the people who voted, or did we need 5 votes required by the majority of all of the aldermen? Because I don't think that was clear that night. So I gather you're telling us that we did have 5 aldermen who voted for it,
Right.
which would have been Bolton, Moisio, Kirkwood, Newsom, and Turner, because Turner abstained, and that counts as a yes vote.
Correct.
Okay. I'm a little confused by that, because with us being home rule, I thought we followed the Robert Rules of Order, and in here, it specifically states that an abstaining is a no vote.
Which edition of Roberts are you reading from?
Well, I've got it right here marked for you. Do you want me to pass it down, or?
No, read it, read it.
No,
Go ahead
if
and
you're
read it.
reading from the published version, the problem with
The
that version.
11th edition.
Yep, that's what I thought. The problem with that edition is that particular rule doesn't apply in Illinois under the ruling of Prosser versus the Village of Fox Lake, a decision several years ago from the Illinois Second Appellate District, in which they determined that for the purposes of determining how many votes were cast in a somewhat similar situation, not identical, but somewhat similar, the abstention counts as a vote with the majority, whatever the majority was, whether it was yea or nay. I don't remember from that particular case.
Okay, so my question was, number one, did Alderman Turner know that when he made the vote?
I don't
Because,
know.
I mean, that may have affected his vote. But the other part of this that concerns me, for me personally, is this says to ratify, which means to agree that the decision was made in accordance, by your definition, with the laws and rules. So how I take that for me is that you're asking me to make a legal decision, because I don't know if it was done with all the laws and the rules. That's why we have corporate counsel. What I don't want to see happen to me is that Margaret Carrasco sues me and says I was trying to be an attorney and making a decision I was not licensed to make. So that's where my personal problem comes in with this.
Alderman Florian.
Thank you, Mayor. I have some of the same concerns Alderman Taylor brought up, specifically that I was never informed an abstention vote goes with the majority on this council. I think that's something pretty important. I had a discussion with Mr. Long about it today. There's some instances where I could predict I may need to abstain from a vote and truly abstain, not participate in the vote at all. And I was informed just today that that means I have to recuse myself and step down off of the dais in order to abstain. Otherwise, my vote goes with the majority. So this is another example, I think, of something we were not informed of. And I had a conversation with Alderman Turner and asked him, did you realize your vote was going to be a yes vote? And he told me no, he didn't realize that. So I'm not the only one that this has happened to.
Okay.
So this is a pretty serious thing. Obviously, this is our whole tax levy. We can't mess with this.
No, we can't.
So,
Are you ready to vote, ma'am? Alderman Turner.
Yeah. I was not aware that my passing on the vote, 'cause I didn't say abstain, I don't know if it's really any difference, but I was not aware that by abstaining, that my vote or my non-vote would be counted at all. My intention was to not have a vote counted by me. I didn't cast a vote, didn't say yes or no, and that was my intent. And it was not explained to me in conversations prior to the meeting, nor when we took the vote count and it was announced what the total was that the levy had passed. It was not stated at that time, hey, Turner, your vote counts as a yes vote. So I'm a little miffed about that. As for this evening's vote, I don't understand the purpose of it. We already voted if, according to the law and precedents and such and so forth, that my vote on that date counts as an affirmative, or it counts with the majority, then so be it. I have no control over that. I can't redo it, right? I don't see the purpose in this.
I agree. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Alderman Taylor?
I mean, I guess what I'm confused about is why are we voting on this when we videotape our meetings and everything else? It's of record of how people voted, so I feel like we're not re-voting the matter because that would be reconsidering it. It's all of legal record, so I don't.
Ma'am, this is the course that we're on right now, unfortunately, because of the lawsuit. We're not going to jeopardize that, so this is the ratification, either yes or no.
Your Honor,
Alderman Moisio.
do you want me to shed a little light from, I think we all read Mr. Durando's email, at least I hope we did. We can leave it in the court's hands in January,
Yeah.
and then going forward, you will allow the taxpayers of Waukegan to decide, and you will lose $25 million this year. You will shut down the library. You will shut down more than one fire station. God knows how many police and fire you will lay off. That is a reality. That's not a scare tactic. If the judge decides that we can lose that, we lose $25 million. And going forward after that, the taxpayers get to decide what services they want to be paying for. And that's fine. We cannot pay any property taxes. But I told somebody today, like it or not, your property values are directly tied to city services. Don't have enough firemen and let 5 houses burn down. Yeah. So this is sort of a belt and suspenders, and for lack of a better analogy, to make sure we've covered our bases. So we can't leave it up to a judge. All this is voting is that we did it the right way, plain and simple.
That's it. That's
That's
the
it.
bottom line. All right, we're ready?
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Call for the question.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Rivera.
No.
Alderman Florian.
no.
Alderman Taylor.
No, I'm not an attorney and will not make a legal judgment.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seeger.
Aye.
Alderman Moisio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
No.
Mayor Cunningham.
Aye. Motion's passed and carried. Motion by Alderman Turner, second by Alderman Florian, to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion's passed and carried. Thank you.
All right.